DMs. If dudes slide in the DMs, he's a creep. But if a female slides in our DMs, we don't think that. We just think she's trying to say hello. We think she's trying to get to know us. That's all we're thinking. We don't put a label on the woman. Y'all put labels on men that are not fair.
Like what? Creeps?
Creep, yes.
That's because they be coming creepy.
So, Eddie, I want to thank him. He introduced me to the lovely Kjnel Jackson. But Eddie, you have to tell them the story because it was about sliding in DMs. So, Eddie, you introduced us DM on IG.
I did.
Yes, because Kjnel did a show on her podcast.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
Okay, so tell the story.
Okay, the story basically goes, Kjnel, who's worked with me for years, I do a lot of promotions throughout Charlotte, and she's worked with me. She's
Eddie Entertainment.
Yes, Eddietainment.
Eddietainment.
She's been my brain trust. She's been my brain trust for many years or whatever, and she's ventured off into a new endeavor, you know, sex, lies, and relationships. And she had, I was trying to basically support her as I do. Mm-hmm. And I, you know, tuned into a few of her podcasts. And one of the podcasts was about sliding into DMs. So I'm there with the other audience and I'm chiming in and chiming away. And I thought it was quite interesting. But, you know, I'm just there for support. So...
Because he's married.
Exactly. I'm there just, that's why I'm saying it like that. I'm sorry. This is why I'm saying it, because there for support. This is not, you know. So anyway, so I'm chiming in, helping things, the crowd get, you know, involved in everything else. And then like within a week, my other friend, Charlotte Burley, she's having a similar type of topic going on her
DMs. It was sliding in. I was on this platform. People were talking about this topic. It was good. It was, you know, about some business. It was just real deal shit. All of a sudden, it flipped to, do you want to holler at me? Do you want to slide in my DM? Who want to slide in each other's DMs? I was like, what in the actual you wanna fuck is going on? Like, we up here talking about something totally different, elevating ourselves, keeping ourselves on this other level about something else, and you talking about who wanna slide in my DMs. Oh, I was pissed.
I'm like, wow. And at the same time, we were talking about her coming to Charlotte and, you know, launching this tour that we're doing. And so I said, wow, I should connect the two of you because, you know, it's the same
But
type
let me back
topic.
it up. Let me tell you how real it was in the DM. He was like, I don't know what the hell is going on with DMs.
Yeah, is that what I'm saying? I forget a lot.
Why is everybody talking about the DMs?
Okay, I do remember. I did say that.
Goes right, though.
Yeah.
goes right.
So Eddie was like, I don't know what the hell is going on with sliding in the DMs.
I'm out of that.
He said, but it must
space.
be out of control. He said, because my girl, Miss Jackson, Sex, Lies, and Relationships.
Yep, I remember
he said, this is her podcast, and he sent me her podcast. He's like, she just was talking about, and he said, and now you're talking-ish about sliding the DMs. He's like, y'all need to talk.
Yeah.
And oh my God, I listened to her podcast, and I have to say this. I was so impressed because I was like, look at this young lady talking about sex, lies, and relationships. Because as a big auntie, you know, I'm just so proud when I see young women who know who they are, know what they want, and they go and they get it. Okay? Yes. Now, you got to understand, she's 6'1". She ain't no joke, okay? She's a giant. But when you are so beautiful and you have that body, you know the typical thing is just to TNA, twerk, and look cute. But she about her business.
Yes.
Okay? And she's about doing something with the community. So for sex, lies, and relationships, I said, let me watch a couple of her episodes. Honey, when I tell you Miss Girl got men talking about sex, lies, and relationships. And I was like, oh, Eddie, I owe you big time because she is the bomb. So I said, would you be my host? And I asked her if she would, help me, because I've never been in Charlotte for this. So I said, would you help me get this thing together? And Miss Jackson came through. She's my co-producer for this. She helped me get the audience with Eddie. And when people say that women don't support women, child, bye.
Yes, that's right.
Grown women, secure women, beautiful inside and outside. So I want y'all to meet, and I want y'all to follow. Right now, I'm going to put it here. Follow Sex, Lies, and Relationships on Instagram. She's a podcaster, and she is the business. So now I'm going to introduce you to Miss Jackson.
Hi,
So, Miss Jackson, first we're going to talk about the sliding in the DMs, because that was so funny. We laughed so hard. We was like, so, I see. So why did you do it?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so one of the main things that I try to do on my podcast, like you said, I engage with men about stuff that women typically talk about with their girlfriends. Oh girl, blah 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 blah, whatever it is. But instead of us just gossiping about these topics, I'm gonna ask men about it because I want to know the perspective. Yes. I love people being completely honest and open. If you're not gonna be honest with me, then don't talk to me. Period. Right. I don't understand. Why people feel like they need to lie or put on a facade and different things like that all the time. Because we're not gonna get any further as a people, as men and women relationships and all kinds of stuff like that by putting up the front all the time.
Amen.
So that episode in particular, I have a friend that lives in Atlanta. He and I have known each other for a very, very long time. And so he and I have phone conversations, off of the show and everything like that about different topics all the time. And I'm just oh my gosh, these people keep trying to, I'm like Charlotte said, I'm all about my business and everything like that. Social media is business for me. And so I'm just people will hit me up on my business page about some BS. And so I'm just I'm here for money, so unless you send in Cash App, Venmo, or something like that, try it somewhere else. We're not talking about anything personal on my business page. Yeah. So
that shoot your shot. Don't shoot it in the business.
Not in mine. My page says DMs are closed right now. My DM's been closed for 2 months. I'm not responding to you unless I know you.
Amen.
We have nothing to talk about.
Okay.
But yeah, so when I had the show with him, he's just oh yeah, you should totally respond to people in your DMs and stuff like that, because that may be the only way that they ever see you. And I'm just okay, but on my business page though, if you don't find me out in public, you don't see me on my personal page, we don't meet through people, I don't really have an interest in, engaging. Or I use dating apps. I do use dating apps. So if we don't match, don't message me. Don't search for me. Don't message me. There's a reason why we didn't match.
Exactly.
The whole premise of coming up with the Sex, Lies, and Relationships podcast, I have a friend that's he's a little brother to me. Again, not sexually attracted to him. He's not like that with me either. He and I have been friends for a very long time. Like I said, he's a little brother to me. So he and I would always have phone conversations, conversations in person or over the phone or something like that. And he'll call me and ask me, hey, I'm talking to this girl, blah, 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 blah. And I was okay, so why don't you just ask her? Because he's a habitual overthinker. And so I'm okay, well, I can only tell you from my perspective. Not all women are the same, not all guys are the same, and everything like that. And so I'm well, why don't you just ask her? Because there's so many subjects, topics, and things like that that, like I said, we discuss as girlfriends, you guys discuss as men, and different things like that. But instead of bringing the conversations together and just asking the opposite sex, we're separated. And like I said, we're not going to get any further, in with better relationships if we're not communicating in that way. So that's the whole premise of the show, is just to get men and women to communicate with one another and to communicate better.
I just want to make sure I wrap this up with this. The people that you saw in this tour for Charlotte, this is the first, city, and it's going to be more in Charlotte because I love Charlotte. But
we love you too.
Thank you. But what you saw was kings and queens that supported each other. And I want you to support everyone that was here because they're supporting you. And where can they find you?
At Sex Lies Relationships Podcast on IG and on YouTube.
Yes. And Eddietainment, please tell them about your Friday nights. Tell them where to come.
Oh, we're here at the tavern. Friday nights, 9 till 2 a.m. Please come through. My website where you can follow me to see wherever I'm doing any type of entertainment is at eddietainment.com. It's EDDIE-tainment.com.
And you got to give a shout out to your wife.
Yes, my wife, my queen, Natasha.
Yes. So thank you so much for tuning in. This was a very special birthday gift to myself, Charlotte, in Charlotte, North Carolina. I will be back because these people are so beautiful. I love. So if you're in a giving mood and you enjoyed this, please give me the thumbs up. And if you did not understand or like, give me the thumbs down. It is all good. You know me. We can agree to disagree. Just keep it cute, because any hate, it will get deleted. Follow me on my Facebook. Like and share. Follow me on IGTV. Like and share. And please deal with your ish, because if you don't, your ish will deal with you.
Yeah!
Fuck that. If you ain't like it, you don't subscribe. Take your ass out home. Fuck that. Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. If you like it, take your ass home.
Your ish will deal with you.
That part. That way. That's it.
I love you guys.
That was everything.